Shalom, shalom, shalom. As always, first I want to give all the praises and the glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and to His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to our apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, and shalom to the hopeful elect brothers and sisters of the house of Israel. As the scriptures say, many are called, few are chosen. Many are called, few are chosen. So, few are chosen. As you can see from the title, behold, the Lord will carry thee away with a mighty captivity. So, I'm going to do a response to a video that Elder Apostle Gabar put up. I think it was yesterday. He put this video up. So I know I watched it yesterday. It might have been the day before, but I believe it was yesterday. It could have been the day before. Probably was the day before. No dramas. In response to this Edomite that you see on the bottom right-hand side of your screen. Now, yeah, it was Friday I watched it. And I tell you why I know it was Friday when I watched it, because it was troubling me all day Saturday. It was on my mind when I was out there on the highways and hedges with the elder brother Rakar. When he was out there with him on the highways and hedges, it was troubling my spirit, thinking about this video, thinking about what this Edomite was saying. And I actually saw Elder Apostle Tahar's video first, really, if I'm honest with you, before I saw Apostle Gabar's video. This is probably what made me watch a chain of these videos, because I saw Elder Apostle Gabar's video, I saw Apostle Tahar's video first, and then I saw the brothers were putting up some videos. I saw Apostle Tahar's one, I saw Apostle Gabar, then I saw the Elder Karatazar from, is it Chicago? One of those places, I think it's Chicago. I get mixed with the brothers, they're all over the place. But so, and I just want to do a response to this video, and it was kind of when I watched Elder Apostle Gabar's video, it kind of really jerked my spirit all day Friday, because I was working Fridays. I was watching it while I was at work on Friday, and it was jerking my spirit. And what hit me is that I was actually reading a book regarding the slave trade, because I like to read when I go to work, jump on public transport. And then I always got a book that I'm reading. It's normally something to do with our history, or the history, or something connected to the scriptures in some way, form, or so. Basically, I like to read. And I'm actually currently reading the book that's called The Interesting Narrative of the Life of Olaudah Equiano, also known as Gustavus Vassa, right? The Israelite. Right? They say the African, but as we should all know that he was an Israelite. So I've been reading his book over the last few weeks on the way to work. You get half an hour, I'm traveling in 40 minutes, and I take out the book and I'm reading it. And the book that I was reading was regarding, which was written by him, was his first-hand account of the transatlantic slave trade, because he was trafficked by the Hamites to the Edomites, and he was sent to the Americas as a slave. So after his freedom, he wrote a book about his life, basically, his whole experience and that kind of thing. So I just happened to be reading that book over the last 3-4 weeks. I just started to read it. I'm about halfway through, and then I saw these videos come up. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to play you a bit of Apostle Gabar's video, and then we're going to show you a bit of the video of the person who he's talking about, and then we're going to go into some true history about our people. We're going to make you understand truly what Apostle Gabar was talking about, how relevant it is, and how sad it was for our people, but it had to happen, as we should all know by now. Okay, so without further ado, let's just play a bit of this video here first. This is the Elder Apostle Gabar, all right?
Devil. And you see here, and this devil, that's will be a slavery. And this is a response to this guy, Andrew Wilson, this devil. That's the individual that you see here. And he is every bit the devil. And this video was put up by Elder Karatazar of GMS Baltimore. It's a brother that I've met, actually stayed by his crib, met him, his family. And it's a real cool brother. And I was listening to this video and I was getting a little heated, you know, thinking about this devil and his flippant nature to the slavery that our forefathers suffered and are still reeling from the effects to this very day. Still reeling from the trauma of that slave trade, that cargo slave ship trade to this very day. And these devils, man, these Edomites, they have a very flippant attitude towards what our forefathers endured. You know, the same fucking thing with Vocab Malone when he made that corny ass joke with was it Jay the producer? He said to Jay the producer, we should make a song called it Slavery in the USA, something like that. And I noticed that Jay the producer didn't really laugh. He might have chuckled, but he didn't find that funny. But Vocab found it funny. You know why? Because his people didn't go through that. His people didn't go through the cargo slave ship trade. Okay? So that's why he's so loose with his mouth, talking about Vocab Malone when he made that statement. And we haven't forgotten that either. Slavery in the USA. You know? Anyway, let me start by saying all praises and glory is due to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashem Rakakwadash. Shalom to the Lord's elect. Shalom to the brothers and sisters of the household of faith. So the title of this video will be called, What is America's Original Sin? Because I looked it up in Google and I found some information on it. The subtitle, actually, this was going to be the title. The slavery of the so-called Negro was the worst kind of slavery by far. But then, doing some more research, I found out about something called, which I didn't know about, America's Original Sin. All right. And this was based upon a book this individual wrote, and he called it by that title. And he said that America's original sin is slavery, which I'll show you. This is according to Google. Okay, so we'll get into that. So I decided to name this video that title, What is America's Original Sin? Okay, and the subtitle is The Slavery of the So-Called Negro was the worst kind of slavery by far, okay? All the horrendous deeds that was done to the so-called Negro, the so-called black man in particular. Just coming on those cargo slave ships alone was pure utter terror, man. Okay.
Now, we're going to quickly show you the devil he's talking about. All right. This is the video here that the elder apostle Gabar and some of the brothers had been responding to. The devil here is on the right-hand side of the screen here. All right. This demon here sitting in the dark, as you can see, as the devil does, right? It sits in the dark with a good old red background, right, to fit his red complexion. All right. So the brother in the red shirt is going to pose a question to him, right? So just want you to hear what the devil said. And then we're going to read some stuff, scriptures. We're going to go back to Apostle Gabar's video. So we're going to be moving around here, right? So, just get yourselves comfortable and get your pen and papers out, because this is some serious history that we're going to go into today, all right? And first-hand knowledge, right? Not second-hand, third-hand, but first-hand knowledge. But first, let's listen to what this devil had to say. This is who Apostle Gabar is speaking about, right? So let's just play this video here.
What's your name?
Andrew.
Andrew, let me ask you one question. Mm-hmm. What race of people went into slavery on ships throughout the history of mankind?
All races of people.
Name me the races that went to slavery through ships.
So I would say race, I think, is a construction of the mind.
I'm
more
talking
than-
about fleshly race. I'm talking about race.
Yeah, I understand. What I think. I just want to clarify this so I make sure I'm answering your question correctly. When you say race, are you talking about black, white? Are you talking? Okay, got you. Yes, if that's the case, the heuristic of black, white, things like this, then every single race on planet Earth has been trafficked in slavery in a big way. Every single one.
I said by ships.
Yes, in ships.
Name me the time that white people went into slavery by ships.
The Barbary states enslaved whites. The Arabs enslaved whites.
I said, when was this?
So the most recent occurrence of this happened at the time of Thomas Jefferson.
Hold up. Let me reword this. In mass numbers, what race of people went into slavery by ships into a land that is not their land?
I don't understand the question. I'm sorry. I actually don't understand the question. What are you actually asking me?
So the key part of the key component is he's emphasizing there being a maritime nature to the slave trade, not simply trafficking, but literally trafficking across the world through vessels on water.
So I understand this. So we had the transatlantic slave trade, and then we had the Arabic slave trade. The Arabic slave trade moved slaves towards the Arab nations. They killed all their slaves. That's why there's not a lot of black Arabs. And then you move on the other side, they moved them over to the Americas. But this is the transit. That's new. That's new. Like this has been happening. Slavery has been happening for thousands of years via shipping. The actual ships.
Which ones with the ships?
All races.
No.
Yeah. So can you answer
every single one, going from the Greeks to all of them. Every single the Vikings used to use ships to go and get slaves from China. I'm not kidding. Like Esau, they did.
Hold on, hear me out, Esau. What I'm trying to say to you is this right here, bro. I mean, Esau, is that the so-called black people are the only people that are documented of going through slavery, stripped from everything from their names to their language to their customs to their God word to a day they identify by a color out the crayon box. That's only happened to a certain people in history.
Not only
hold on, let me. I'm almost finished. Let me land my
plane. No problem. Go ahead.
That's a prophecy that's prophesied in the Bible to let you know who the Israelites are.
Okay, so I just want to let you know that what you're saying, though, is factually untrue. So Rome, for instance, is a great example of a society which was literally constructed by slavery. There's more slaves in Rome than there were Romans. They did this to all peoples. They stripped them of their name. They stripped them of their title. They stripped them of their family. They stripped them of the whole idea was you must become Roman. Now, in some places later, they let them have some customs, things like this. But this happened in the modern slave trade, too. So in the Americas, for instance, some slave owners, they let them have customs and things like this. Sometimes not. It just depends where they were in history. But no, I'm telling you, all races had this happen to them, all of them.
Those people that went through their slavery in Rome are the people that we're saying that are Israelites. And we are those people.
Yeah, but if that was all people. All people, no, yeah, listen. I mean,
y'all gotta
all.
Sorry, y'all can handle that.
Yeah, but this doesn't make any sense because well,
that's the devil anyway, right? I don't even want to hear no more he's got to say, right? Because he just makes my blood boil, that devil. So that's who the Apostle Gabar was speaking of, basically. That's exactly who he was speaking of regarding this devil, all right? So let's just quickly go back to the Apostle Gabar's video, all right? I just wanted you to actually to see who it was he's referring to. That was the devil that the Apostle Gabar was speaking of, right? That was flippantly speaking about the transatlantic slave trade and trying to claim that other nations went into slavery by cargo slave ships, which is an utter and complete lie, false. That's an utter no nation of people went into slavery by cargo slave ships over a period of 350 to 400 years. We're talking 4 centuries of slavery by cargo slave ships. Only one nation that happened to, and that's our ancestors that came to the Americas and to the West Indies. Today, who they call African Americans, West Indians and Caribbeans, Haitians and Dominicans, so forth and so on. The only nation that the Native American Indians were taken on slave ships from the Americas to Europe. So the Northern Kingdom shared part of that, but the bulk of the slavery that took place happened to the tribes of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, all right? The Southern Kingdom. So this is who Apostle Gabar was speaking of,
is
right?
America's original sin, okay? And the subtitle is "The Slavery of the So-Called Negro Was the Worst Kind of Slavery by Far." By far, okay? All the horrendous deeds